Welcome, Domain Dave again for CheapWineFinder.com. And today we have a special edition wine, and I don't really know why it's a special edition wine. I just know it is. And what do we have? We have the, and Barefoot wines are some of the most popular wines in the United States. It's the Barefoot Bubbly Brut Rosé. And the difference about this one is it's the Pride edition, so it has this colorful rainbow wrap on it, but it's vintage dated. It's a 2020 vintage of the sparkling wine, where normally Barefoot Bubbly is non-vintage. And that's a big deal, but I don't know why, because Barefoot doesn't tell you a thing about it. There's all sorts of things on the information sites on the internet about how it's a Pride wine, and it does look good and everything, but and now and all their outreach and all that kind of stuff. But I'm a wine guy here, and I want to know why all of a sudden this Barefoot Bubbly, rather than being a non-vintage wine, is now a vintage wine. They don't say, and I don't know, but I can drink it and we can talk about it. So I'm going to take a sip. Now, I have no idea what the grapes are. I mean, it's that bad. They don't tell you anything. This is a lifestyle wine. Anything there is people running around having fun, and not a word about why it's made and everything else. Another weird thing about it is Gallo, a few years back, many years back actually, Champagne sued everybody who was using the word champagne in their wine. They wanted to protect their trademark. Champagne is wines from the Champagne region. Prosecco is the same way. Prosecco is sparkling wine from this Prosecco region. And in California, like Andres and these inexpensive wines were being sold as champagne style. And Gallo, since they've been around forever, got grandfathered in. No one can use champagne other than champagne producers, other than like Gallo and a couple others. So this is a California champagne. But the weird thing is, it's made in the Charmat method. Charmat's how they make Prosecco. They'll ferment the grapes the first time, age it a little bit, transfer to these huge pressurized vats, adds a measured amount of yeast and sugar, turn the pressure up in a few weeks to a few months, because this is a much more efficient way to bake bubbles than the champagne method where they do it in each and every bottle. You got bubbly. So this is a California champagne made like a Prosecco, which doesn't make any sense, but there you are. And the weird thing about this is it tastes better than it should. And this is a fun wine. I imagine most people who buy this wine are never ever going to look up why it's a good wine. I'm going to take another sip. And don't care if it's got Pinot Noir or whatever grape in the world's in there, and why it's, they don't care. They just want a good wine, and they don't want it to cost much. And I get that, and I understand how these wineries know that, and they're making a huge amount of money, but I want to know. And they're not telling me. I'm drinking it anyway, so I guess it works. I'm going to pour myself a little bit more because I'm sipping it. It's got really good acidity. One thing that's really gotten better there's a couple of things that have really gotten better in value price wine. But one thing that's gotten better is acidity. I can recall a time when inexpensive bubbly were acid bombs, and they would just, it would be bright, but it would get to your stomach before too long. Not taking another sip. This has that kind of acidity, which I like in an inexpensive wine, that makes you want to take another sip. I mean, it's fine. And the flavors are there too. The flavors are such that they're pretty good. There's a hint of sweetness to it, nectar sweetness, but it doesn't go all the way to sweet. This is brut. This is dry, or the least dry of the dry classifications. I'm gonna take another sip here. Yeah, so I don't know why it's a vintage wine rather than non-vintage. I wish I knew, because this is actually a really nice effort. It tastes really nice. It's $10. I think it lists for $10. You're going to find it cheaper some places. If you had a $10 Prosecco, you go, oh, that's fine too. And sometimes you I don't know, at least I do, and I see like a Barefoot Bubbly and it's like $8 or $9 or whatever, like, oh, that's not so good. But actually, it's made the same way as Prosecco. It's probably just as good. And actually the Glera grape and Prosecco isn't anything to write home about. They're probably using better grapes. Gallo has some of the best vineyards in California. I don't know if those grapes are getting this, but Gallo's no joke when it comes to value price wine. So this is the Barefoot Bubbly Brut Rosé, but the special edition is the Pride Edition 2020. At first I thought, are they just using their 2020 just because they got every year they're going to do different labels and they're proud of their label and everything? But there's rules and what goes on the label, and on the back label there's 2022. So this is a vintage wine. This is a bubbly from 2020. That's $10 from California. I mean, the next stop is like Goya Ferrar and Schramsberg for that. So this is an interesting wine. Check it out. It's worth it, but I'm not sure if just the regular non-vintage tastes anywhere like this, because vintage wines are not going to, the non-vintage wines are going to be made to taste a certain way. They want it to taste the same way every year, and a non-vintage wine, they're going to let it do what it does. So there you go. That's it for me, Domain Dave from CheapWineFinder.com. Like us everywhere you like your podcast. Got to say that. Stay cool. Don't sweat too much, because I think dew point's like 89,000 here. And got more wines coming up. Summer wines. We're going to have fun. Going to drink some more. Keep it cheap. Adios. And I'll be talking to you. Bye-bye.